Welcome to another NCIX PC episode of NCIX Tech Tips. Today we've got the IG-514M, and if you've ever wondered what those names mean, Intel GeForce 5, so that's like sweet spot performance class gaming. 14 means it's the 14th system to target that sweet spot, which makes sense because that's what people want to buy anyway. You want the sweet spot. You don't want to be paying too much for stuff that's not that much better. You don't want to be paying too little for stuff that just isn't as good. I mean, I guess all of that was whatever. People like these, so there you go, and it's a mid-tower, and we're going to be talking about what's good about it. So the concept here, this is a $1,200 system, again, it's in that sweet spot price point, is to get all the advanced features of the new Z97 platform and refreshed 4th generation Core i5 series processors, all at a reasonable, well, basically the same price as the older Z87 and non-refreshed Haswell Core series processors. I mean, that's the whole idea. Now, there's a few key points for this system that I wanted to bring up. So number one is that this ASUS motherboard, like most of ASUS, actually, I believe all of ASUS's Z97 motherboards uses an Intel network interface. Now, an Intel network interface means that you're going to have slightly lower ping times, a slightly lower CPU utilization, and slightly better throughput. We're not talking game-changing stuff or anything, but we're talking about every little advantage counting. Also, you can use AI Suite in order to turn on their packet prioritization, so you can actually say, okay, look, application A, let's say a game, for example, you're more important. Application B, let's say running water, you are less important, so you can actually improve your ping times a little bit if you are downloading on the same machine. Another feature is that because it has an NVIDIA graphics card, it's of course 3D Vision ready, it's got NVIDIA GPU Boost 2, and all those great NVIDIA features. So if you're not familiar with GPU Boost 2, we've covered it pretty well in the past, but just as a quick refresher, what it does is it takes any available headroom from a thermal or power perspective and boosts up the clock speed of your graphics card. And when you're running an aftermarket cooler, or at least a non-reference cooler, excuse me, on your graphics card like they are in this system, you're gonna get some improvements there. Finally, you've got generational improvements in onboard sound enabled by the ASUS Z97A motherboard. So ASUS is touting a premium audio amplifier, Japanese-made audio capacitors, and a dedicated audio PCB series of layers as the way that they've improved the sound experience over the previous generation products. As usual, we start with the outside. We've got a Corsair 230T case. It's actually available in a couple of different colors. That features at the front, yes, airflow. It's all about that ventilation. 3, 5 1/4 inch base, one of which is populated with an optical drive. This is, of course, optional because it's an NCIX PC. We've also got 2 USB 3 ports, a headphone and microphone jack, as well as a recessed reset button and a non-recessed power button. That's a nice, smart little feature because it makes it easy to see what you're doing in the dark, if you know what I mean. On the right, we've got one side panel, which is pretty plain, other than a nice little stylized stamped border around the outside and kind of handles for pulling them off. On the left side, we've got, yes, a stylized window that's got kind of a dark smoked glass look to it. Goes well with the whole NCIXP subtle glow lighting effect thing that they got going on there with some red accent lightings. Just one lighting. Yes, lighting is singular. Thank you. On the top, we've got, whoa! Okay, I cheated a little bit. I undid the screws before so that I could pull this off easily. Okay, so we'll talk about the side panel now. The side panel comes off, coming out the front as opposed to the back. The screw goes in the back, but the side panel slides forward. You gotta wonder sometimes, Corsair, George, I'm talking to you, are you innovating for the sake of innovating? Either way, it's something a little different, so there you go. The side panel comes off towards the front. I guess that means if you had your system right up against the back wall, you wouldn't have to slide it back, although you got your connectors back there, so it's probably not right up against the wall. George, I'm sure you have a reason for it. I just don't understand what it is yet. On the top, we've got a dual 120mm or dual 140mm fan mount, and you can move around the nice included little rubber grommets according to whatever is best for you so that you don't have vibration. The system doesn't come with any fans there by default, though. Of course, again, it's an NCIX PC, so you can add whatever you want. On the back, we've got I/O provided by that Z97A motherboard I was talking about before. We got HDMI, DisplayPort, VGA, DVI, every possible display connector you could possibly want. We've got 2 USB 2 ports, 4 USB 3 ports, gigabit Ethernet, as well as a PS2 keyboard mouse combo port, 7.1 audio, including optical audio out, and finally, the display outputs that are included with your GFX card. No one ever says that, do they? GFX. So inside the system, we've got the all-new Core i5-4460 with 100 megahertz higher stock clock speeds at the same price. More performance for nothing. Gotta love it. Anyway, it's got an Arctic Cooling Freezer 7 air cooler, and the graphics card, moving just down the system here, is a GTX 760 DirectCU2 OC graphics card. It takes a single 8-pin PCIe power connector, and that is pretty much it. It's nice and short, and it's also got a nice sexy cooler on it, so you can take advantage of that GPU Boost 2 thing I was talking about before. We've got 8 gigs of Vengeance Pro RAM, and the all-new ASUS Z97A motherboard. It's got upgraded sound, network, and of course their one-click 5-way optimization that balances things like power consumption, performance, and noise, and all of that good stuff. The other thing that it has is SATA Express. Now, there aren't any drives yet, but if you wanted to upgrade to a SATA Express drive, you would be able to take advantage of the speed improvements of SATA Express if you had a drive that took advantage of the aforementioned speed improvements. Future-proofing? Never a bad thing in terms of connectivity. In terms of drives that are available now, it's got a 128 gig Plextor M5S SSD and no hard drive by default, but once you add this system to your cart, the most popular capacities become available as an NCIX PC exclusive deal that gets offered to you in the shopping cart, so you can easily add a storage hard drive after the fact. For power, we've got a Corsair 550 watt CS Series 80 plus gold power supply. That is a very unusual efficiency rating for such an inexpensive series of power supplies. Corsair's really been pushing the envelope lately in terms of power supply efficiency, releasing that 1500 watt 80 plus titanium unit, as well as like value 80 plus gold unit. So thumbs up for that. Coming with the system in terms of value added software, you get 2 copies of Watch Dogs. It's pre-order. Yeah, I mean, you can't play it early, but you can play it as soon as it's available. So you get 1 for you, 1 for a friend, play some co-op, and 2 copies of Total War Rome 2, which also supports multiplayer, so you can play that with a friend as well. So basically, this is the system that you shouldn't necessarily buy, but you should definitely convince all your friends to buy it, so you can get the free games, and so they can have a great performing system at a great price. Thank you for checking out this episode of NCIX PC, NCIX Tech Tips here on the NCIX.com YouTube channel for NCIX.com. Don't forget to subscribe.